Let's talk about how to get started on Instagram in 2023 for realtors. Every year or so, I tend to touch on this topic and really share about the best practices for Instagram for real estate. I want to share what you should do in 2023 today if you have not started on Instagram, or if you need just kind of a really good refresh. This is what we're gonna do. If you already have an account, awesome. What you wanna do is check and make sure of a couple of different things. The way that you have your bio set up on Instagram really matters. And there's not a lot that you have to do that'll make a huge difference, but the things that you do here are going to be really impactful to your ability to be found by your clients on Instagram. The first thing that I suggest you do is make sure that your account at the bare minimum is public. That means anybody can see your entire profile regardless of whether or not they already follow you. You are a business, this is like your storefront, and you should remember that a lot of times when new clients or referrals find your Instagram account for the first time, that is going to be the first impression that they have with your business, and so you want to treat your account accordingly. Take a minute with me here and just look at your bio and make sure it's pretty clear, pretty concise, and make sure, for the love of all things good and holy, that you have your location very clearly identified on your bio. One of the craziest things that I see, even still today, is when realtors don't say where they're selling out of. If a user on Instagram cannot clearly understand or see where it is you are located, they're immediately going to go on to the next agent. So make sure you have your location very clearly identified in your bio. You might also take a minute to share specifically who it is you help and what type of real estate you do. There's a lot of kind of confusion still today where some buyers and sellers just aren't sure whether or not agents do one or the other or both in terms of buying and selling. And so you need to very clearly explain who you are prepared to help. And the more finite, the more specific you can get here, actually, the better. So you could even say first-time home buyer specialist, relocation specialist, helping those buy, sell, and invest. Any of that is all fair game. Now, I'm going to answer this really quickly because I know that I'm going to get the question. In terms of the type of account that you should have, it doesn't totally matter as long as it's public. That's what I've always said, and I still think that's true. However, I have a type of professional account called a creator account. Now, if you already have an existing account on Instagram, you can change it to a professional creator account. You can do that, just go through the prompts in your settings to change your account to that format. So that's going to do a couple of different things here. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but it's going to help you do all the things that you want to be doing on Instagram. Now that your account is all set up and ready to go, you've got a good foundation there, the next thing that you want to do is follow your entire database. I'm talking your sphere of influence, your contacts, your friends, your family, past clients, current clients, future clients. Everybody that you know that you would love to do business or receive referrals from needs to be connected with you on Instagram. So make sure that you're going through the entire list and following anybody that matters in your world. You don't want to be a secret agent, right? And database marketing can only go so far because you can only touch base with people one-on-one every so often without it being kind of weird or forced. Social media is so great in terms of database marketing because it adds that extra layer of brand awareness right on top without feeling too intrusive. These people are already going to Instagram multiple times a day, every day, and so meet them where they're at. Don't be afraid that it's weird to follow people that you already know, because ultimately that's how social media is supposed to work. That should also be a note to add that to your workflow. So anytime you have a new closing, or if you meet a new database contact, like a business contact that you want to stay in communication with, make sure that you are following them on Instagram as well. That needs to be like just another layer of your communication stack. So don't be afraid of following and telling people to follow you on Instagram all the time. Next, we're going to talk about your content schedule. So set up your Instagram profile, make sure it's good, make sure it's a creator account, and follow all the people that matter in your world. If you do that and you're utilizing Instagram just kind of throughout the day, just casually, you're gonna be good. Like, that's a really important thing that you need to do. You have to be found by your clients. You have to be easily recognized on social media. If you are not at least getting to this step for your real estate business, or if somebody's looking for you and they can't find an active account for you, or they found one but it's like 6 years old and they can't really tell if you're a real person, that's gonna really hurt your conversion, even if you're getting warm referrals from people who already know of you through a friend of a friend. So even if you get to this point, This is a really huge win. Pat yourself on the back. You should also, on top of this, be utilizing Instagram throughout the week just to create content, stay top of mind, and engage with others. And so this is where we talk about that content schedule and what that needs to look like. Now, if you want to be somebody who is generating leads organically every single week on Instagram, you can do that. In a very short amount of time, I was able to build my Instagram presence to help me generate multiple 6 figures of GCI from Instagram alone, for my tiny but mighty real estate business with no ad spend, no marketing dollars, just kind of me hanging around on Instagram. So the power here is there. You can create a lead source using Instagram. Now, if you just want to use Instagram casually and you want it to be on top of just some of the other things that are already working really well for you there as well, you don't have to do quite as much, but you do have to be popping onto Instagram every day or every other day. What I think a really good baseline content schedule for any real estate agent is posting about 3 to 5 times a week. Am I currently posting at that clip right now? No, but I would like to. Like, that for me is where I want to be. I want to be posting at least 3 times a week. Some months I'm posting a little less frequently, like right now. Some months I'm posting way more frequently. And so that is kind of the sweet spot. 3 posts a week, whether it's a combination of reels and carousel posts to the feed, I think that is gonna work really well for you. So for me, that looks like 2 carousel posts and 1 reel a week. That is my sweet spot. In addition to that, you should be showing up on the stories separate from posting. You should be showing up on the stories just about every day. Now, these are really easy to do. Don't be afraid by the stories. You want to be showing up with your face on video, just sharing a little bit of a glimpse into your day-to-day. The stories are where you're documenting, right? So you're just like kind of documenting your day-to-day. You're bringing people in to see what you're up to, and you're also sharing anything that is kind of not so evergreen. Evergreen is content that is always valuable and always true. Think of this as your frequently asked questions content, where you're responding to really helpful prompts that you think that your ideal clients would want to see. That's the stuff that belongs to the feed. Anything else, like whether you're doing an open house or whether you have a price change on your listing, all of that belongs in the stories, because that can change and that is going to be outdated information after a couple of weeks. The reason we do that on the stories is because stories content is only available for 24 hours. So this is stuff that's a little more casual, a little in passing. Doesn't really matter so much because it's going to be gone after 24 hours. Now, you might ask, why post to the stories at all if it's gone within 24 hours? Well, stories is the most frequently used piece of content on Instagram. Like, people love going through the stories. They love interacting because it's highly personal and it's highly engaging. This is shown by statistics that say 1 in 4 stories result in a direct message, which can then turn into a conversation, which can then turn into a lead generated, right? And so the more that you are showing up on the stories, that is way more valuable than posting to the feed, in my opinion. And so as long as you are doing that, you'll have the opportunity to connect one-on-one, so to speak, with so much of your audience. So do not sleep on that. That's why I say to do that every day or every other day. Now, the last suggestion that I have for you along the lines of utilizing Instagram for your real estate business is really make sure that you are engaging every single day. This is going to be the most important thing that you can do. Recently, I just shared a video about ChatGPT and how AI is going to be changing the landscape of our industry along with basically all the others in this country and beyond. And so we have to think, well, with ChatGPT and AI having such a hand in content creation, how do we stand out? How do we stay ahead? The obvious answer is by being a human. That's the one thing that ChatGPT and AI cannot replace. It can't replace the human connection aspect that we are so perfectly positioned to give. And so the last thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is setting a plan to engage with your audience every single day. This looks like leaving thoughtful comments. This looks like sending great direct messages to people who you already know and people who you don't, interacting with content new and familiar, really making sure that you are spending a lot of time using this as a networking app so that you can have more conversations. Just remember that Instagram should allow you to have more conversations that turn into appointments, that turn into leads. And so as long as you are leaning into that engagement aspect, you'll be good. In the Market Authority Academy, we have a simple rule to stay on top of this. We call it the 10-10-5 rule. This means every single day, engage with 10 stories along the top, engage with 10 feed posts down your feed, And then reach out to 5 new people every day, either in the Explore tab or using your database as a list if you haven't reached out to those people yet. This amount of interaction will ensure that you're always doing your part to create engagements, create conversations that ultimately will lead to relationships and business. This is it. There's no crazy code that you have to crack with Instagram. You don't have to be on a crazy content treadmill, creating all kinds of new original content all the time. There's no crazy hacks, there's no big secrets. All you have to do is utilize it in a way to make genuine connections that can then be converted into leads and business and relationships that turn into more referrals and more business. It is the gift that keeps on giving, and it's a totally free, organic way to grow your real estate business, which is exactly what I did. Now, if you want to learn about how we're integrating Instagram into a proven blueprint to help you grow your business from the ground up using systems and modern marketing strategies for real estate, definitely check out the Market Authority Academy, which is my mentorship program where I'm teaching real estate agents how to use these pieces for their growth. With the right guidance, strategy, and a little dedication to doing the thing, you can be just like all of the other Market Authority Academy alums who have seen incredible results to their real estate business. All the information to apply to the Market Authority Academy are below in the show notes, so check that out, and we would love to see your name pop up on our calendars. Thanks so much for tuning in. Till next time, keep on crushing it.